standing on the corner, waiting for the light to turn green.
Can I go now? Cross over? Will the world stop just for me?
You wanna make a difference, but you don't know how. Take the time and break away from all your nasty doubts. The world is starving for your laughter, yearning for your love. Your love, you got to live it like you never lived before. Love it like you want it more and more. Be you, that's what you're here for. You're more than enough, more than enough.
Take one step and another. Nothing's got nothing on you.
Leave all your doubts. You're stronger than those shadows that make you blue.
You're on, Frank.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. This is Frank Coppola with the ADD coaching group. And I like to keep the theme going with the relationship for February. And today I'm going to be talking about the 10 benefits of music therapy and positive brain health. There is a relationship between music and brain health. And isn't it interesting how hearing a particular song can bring back a special memory or make you feel happy or calm or pumped up? People are born with the ability to tell the difference between music and noise. Our brains actually have different pathways for processing different parts of music, including pitch, melody, rhythm, and tempo. And fast music can actually increase your heart rate, breathing, and blood pressure, while slower music tends to have the opposite effect. While the effects of music on people are not fully understood, studies have shown that when you hear music to your liking, the brain actually releases a chemical called dopamine, which has the positive effect of mood. Music can make us feel strong emotions, such as joy, sadness, or fear. Some will agree that it has the power to move us. According to some researchers, music may even have the power to improve your health and well-being. Though more studies are needed to confirm the potential health benefits of music, some studies suggest that listening to music can improve the following positive effects on health. Number one, improves mood. Studies show that listening to music can benefit overall well-being, help regulate emotions, and create happiness and relaxation in everyday life. For example, for people who study and want to learn something, the recommendation is to listen to Mozart because it calms the brain and allows the brain to open up a particular portion of the brain to be able to learn more quickly. Number two, it reduces stress. Listening to, quote, relaxing music, generally considered to have slow tempo, low pitch, or no lyrics, has been shown to reduce stress and anxiety in healthy people and in people undergoing medical procedures. For example, surgery, dental, colonoscopy, and such. And number three, it lessens anxiety, which is one of my favorite. In studies of people with cancer, listening to music combined with the standard care reduced anxiety compared to those who receive standard care alone. Next one, improves exercise. Studies suggest that music can enhance aerobic exercise, boost mental and physical stimulation, and increase overall performance. I know that whenever I go for a long walk or if I'm doing any kind of exercise, I'm listening to music. And depending on the music, if I'm listening to James Brown, I'm going to walk at a different pace. If I'm listening to someone that's a little slower than that, I'm going to be doing it at a slower pace. Improves memory. Research has shown that the repetitive elements of rhythm and melody help our brains form patterns that enhance memory. In a study of stroke survivors, listening to music helped them experience more verbal memory, less confusion, and better focused attention. Again, help them experience more verbal memory, less confusion, and better focused attention. Next one, it eases pain. In study of patients recovering from surgery, those who listen to music before, during, and after surgery have less pain and more overall satisfaction compared with patients who did not listen to music as part of their care. It provides comfort. Music therapy has been used to help enhance communication, coping, and expressions of feelings such as fear, loneliness, and anger in patients who have serious illness and who are in the end of life care. It improves cognition. This to me is really fascinating. Listening to music can also help people with Alzheimer's, recalling seemingly lost memories, and even help maintain some mental abilities. And lastly, next is helps children with autism spectrum disorder, as well as attention deficit disorder. Studies of children with autism spectrum disorder who received music therapy showed improvement in social responses, communication skills, and attention skills. And lastly, it soothes premature babies. Live music and lullabies may impact vital signs, improve feeding behaviors, and sucking patterns in premature infants, and may increase prolonged periods of quiet, alert states. So I invite you to think back to a time when you said, you know what, I think I'm going to listen to something. I'm going to take out a piece of music and see what it would do to your mood. See how it would change your mood. Because I know for myself, if I'm feeling a little low or lack of motivation, I will put on, of all things, James Brown. And if you want to get off of your seat, James Brown is the one to do that. Growing up in my father's restaurant, there was a jukebox. And once a week, the mob guys used to come in and change the quarters in the jukebox. We would get some of the quarters that we put in there back. We would put a little nail polish on it so we know which quarters are which. But then my entire life, I listened to music once a week, all the latest hits. And I wasn't that crazy being in the restaurant all the time, but music really helped a great deal. So that's my 10 benefits of music therapy and positive brain health. And I'd like it to open it up to any questions you may have.
Yeah, now you have James Brown in my head singing, "Get up off of that thing."
There you go. There you go. Great for getting off to work.
Now, and I've told people there is no way that you can be stressed and listen to Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata and not just come down several levels. It is one of the most relaxing, feel good background music I've ever heard.
Yes. Yes. How do you use music in your life, Oscar?
As background music, like you said, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm doing something that is stressful, I'll put on a Beethoven, I'll put on Mozart, Brandenburg concertos, some really good old music that is just music. There's no lyrics. If I'm exercising, that 1 or 2 times a year that I do, then I'll put on some good rock and roll from way back when.
Sure. So let me ask you something. Let me throw out some scenarios and tell me how it makes you feel just thinking about the music that would be there. You've been invited to a Mexican party and there's going to be playing Mexican music. What's your mood before you go? What are you thinking about?
Before I go,
Yeah,
I don't know, but I used to, at the place I used to work, we would have on, what is that, Pandora, on the computer.
right.
And Mondays we would play blues because it was Blue Monday, and Fridays was Mariachi Friday because we're getting ready for the weekend. So it was a few hours of mariachi before we left work. So
There you go.
we literally programmed the music for the days.
Yeah, and it also, I bet you, it benefited your work a lot.
Oh yeah, and you can't be glum listening to mariachi music. It's just not, it doesn't
Yeah,
happen.
impossible. Yeah. Any other questions?
I don't know if Phil has a question or Karen.
Well, I always have a question for Frank because, it's Frank.
He has the answers no matter what your question is.
Yeah, but it's like, I believe that we were talking about frequencies before we got on. And I believe that sound, sometimes we don't realize the effect that sounds have on us. Like I use the example of like when you're watching a movie, right? And you ever see, every time you reach a different scene, you can almost anticipate what's going to happen based on the music that they play.
That's right.
It's funny.
So yeah,
if my wife is watching a movie in another room and I'm not seeing the movie, it's just hilarious. What you said is you hear that music change. I'm like, oh, something's gonna happen. Here goes
somebody's gonna die now. Or it's like the romantic scene is coming because the music calms down. If you're watching an action movie, all throughout the movie is like dun 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 boom boom. The music is high and it's like Beethoven all the way through the movie, and then you hear Chopin. Right at the end, and calm music. Something romantic is gonna happen. It's gonna be like wow, And they used the music to set up the scene.
Without a doubt. I saw an interview between John Williams and Steven Spielberg, and John Williams wrote all the music for Steven Spielberg's films. And I think the first or the second film that Steven Spielberg did had just had this big fish swimming around, and he contacted John Williams and said, I really need you to write some music. So John Williams called up Steven Spielberg and said, come on over, I've got the music for you. And he sat there at the piano and he did this. Dum, do dum dum, da dum dum da dum dum, and that was the music from Jaws. And when you hear that, I know that I don't want to go into the water.
Right.
That's the power of music.
Well, music is the invisible actor in every show. It's in the background. It's setting up it'll bring you into whatever mood that you need to be in for that scene to work.
Yeah, and if it's done well, it's done well. It's transparent. It does not get in the way of the film at all.
Right, because I've seen where some movies get it wrong,
Yeah,
and they play the wrong music in the wrong scene, and you're like,
yeah,
this must be a B-rated movie.
And also, you know, you can tell if a film's going to be a comedy film.
Right. Absolutely.
It's up in the titles.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
It's not in a major key. I'm sorry, it's not in a minor key. It's in a major key.
Right.
Just think Jerry Lewis, and there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's funny you should say that. We're talking about movies now, but you know, I was watching a Jerry Lewis movie the other day, and it was exactly that. You could tell from the typical scene that it was going to be like a normal kind of thing. But when you had a scene with just like Jerry Lewis in it, the music became, you know, upbeat. Yeah. You knew something funny was going to happen because he's isolated in a room, and you know that it's just going to be hysterical because the music kind of starts preparing you for what he's about to do.
Exactly.
You know, and you know, so I got like when you're saying how music can really just affect your mood, affect your mindset. You know, sometimes, you know, talking to someone won't even do as much as music will do for your mindset and your mood.
Right.
Kind of bring you to a whole different level.
Yeah, because music is not when someone is speaking, they're operating at a cognitive level. Music operates on an emotional level. So therefore, whatever is being said has nothing to do with the music that's being played, because the music, again, works at an emotional level. When I coach people, I will give them at various times music for them to listen to, whether I've written it or whether somebody else has written it, to help them in whatever challenge they may have. Why am I doing that? Because when they think back to that music, it affects them not understanding the words as much as just feeling the feelings, which is completely emotional. And nobody can really screw around with your emotions. They're your emotions.
Right.
And you remember when you think back.
I mean, I just want to say something that's powerful. Say that again, because I think that's really relevant.
Well, as I said, if someone is speaking and trying to teach you something, right? And they may be, you know, telling you this, giving you an example of that, doing this, doing that. If you have the right piece of music, it can affect you even further than the words.
Yeah.
Because music is emotional, and it affects you at a deep level, and your learning becomes even more impactful because the music, again, is affecting you emotionally, and no one can screw around with your emotions. They're your emotions.
Remember the old saying, music soothes a savage beast.
Yes.
The reason, you know, that's not a fun saying. It's true. You really can bring an emotion down with the right music.
Yes.
You know, everything is vibration. Everything is energy vibrating. So you line up that vibration with your physical vibration, and voila.
And you know what I really got from that is the last part where he said it's your emotions, and most people don't see emotions that way.
No.
Most people feel like their emotions control them, so it's not theirs. It's they don't take ownership of it. They don't take responsibility for it. It just is emotion. Oh, that's just the way I feel. Well, why do you feel that way? Right. Take ownership. You know, I mean, just in that line I just heard, you were just kind of saying, take ownership of your emotions, right? If you're feeling something, you know, it's yours. You have the full right to say to your emotions, okay, not today. Not right now. I ain't got time for this, right?
Right.
And you can really, if you need help with that, you can play something that's going to bring you into the space where you can bring those emotions under control.
Yes.
But I think that's such a great statement, because it gives you have to be able to take full on responsibility for your emotional state.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. Well said.
So
well, I want to thank everybody. And I just want to tell you that if you are interested in speaking to me further about this, you can just look, because Philip has posted my name, my telephone number, and my email address. And please reach out to me, and I'd be very, very happy to speak with you about it. And if anybody's interested, I can certainly give you a consultation on music therapy for you. Maybe we can find a piece of music that will soothe you and make you feel really great.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Frank. Really appreciate it. Everyone that's watching, we want to thank you. Today is our last day of programming. So we will be back again next month, and we'll be talking about finances and how you can really make money. That's really what it comes down to, or how to manage your money. Go ahead. What are you going to say, Frank?
I just said money is good.
Money is good. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. We all need it. We all want to know how to use it. And so we will be talking about that next month. Please stay tuned for that. And we will see you then. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Hey, babe.
Standing on the corner, waiting for the light to turn green.
Can I go now? Cross over? Will the world stop just for me?
You wanna make a difference, but you don't know how. Take the time and break away from all your nasty doubts. The world is starting for your laughter, yearning for your life.